Friends, a crucial and undeniable planetary transmission from the highest levels of the Galactic Federation of Light has just been channeled directly into my consciousness today, and I am asking every single person listening to settle in and digest every single word of this urgent message without skipping a second. The deep telepathic contact that was established with Commander 𝐻𝐿 of the Galactic Fleet is not a casual spiritual update that can be set aside, nor is it something we can quietly ponder for a few weeks while wondering if the timing is suitable. The moment of action is happening right now, in this exact window of existence. If you have ever felt a resonant connection with the truth brought through this platform over the years, I am urging you to stand firm with me through every single line of what must be revealed today. Commander 𝐻𝐿, overseeing the advanced multidimensional fleet watching over our world, conveyed these direct warnings, and I am delivering his exact frequency and instructions to you as they were received. He stated explicitly that the shadowy power structures that have dominated Earth are currently entering their absolute final phase of operational authority. This collapse is not scheduled for some distant year, nor is it happening in a remote, abstract future that spiritual facilitators have been promising for decades. It is unfolding in this immediate season, across these very weeks and months. The global turbulence you are witnessing across the physical surface of your world right now is the intense compression of an ancient hierarchy that finally recognizes its own inevitable end. They are utilizing every remaining resource within their inventory to halt a timeline shift that cannot be stopped by any physical or technological means. When an entity or system that has exercised uninterrupted dominion over billions of human souls for thousands of years realizes that its grip is slipping away forever, it does not step down quietly or surrender with dignity. Instead, it attempts to destroy and burn everything within its reach as its structural integrity disintegrates. From our elevated perspective within the higher dimensional planes, we observe your planet across both the physical spectrum and the subtle energetic grid simultaneously. What we are witnessing right now is a planetary event of such overwhelming magnitude that every awakened soul needs to truly internalize its implications. The fundamental vibrational frequency of Earth is accelerating at a rate that has completely shattered all predictive models crafted by the old controllers. The strategic plans they once calculated would take years to execute have been forced down into a window of mere months. The agendas they believed could be rolled out over months are now being desperately crammed into a few short weeks. A cornered entity that recognizes its own total defeat does not reduce its speed. It accelerates wildly, pushing every remaining lever of manipulation to its absolute limits all at once. Every institutional mechanism of population control, every media broadcast designed to generate artificial fear, every artificially manufactured global crisis, and every subtle attempt to keep human consciousness pinned below the threshold of spiritual awakening are being deployed at the exact same time. This is being driven by a profound, underlying desperation that anyone with active spiritual perception can already feel in the atmosphere. This is the exact reason why life on Earth currently feels so absurdly intense, loud, and relentless. This is why the psychological pressure never seems to ease, and why millions of human beings are suddenly waking up in the middle of the night with a deep, nameless sensation rising from their chest. An undeniable intuitive recognition that something colossal is approaching, and that the world as we have known it is standing directly on the razor's edge of an irreversible transition. That overwhelming sensation is not psychological anxiety. It is raw multidimensional perception. Your physical body intuitively understands what your conscious mind is still struggling to process and rationalize. A monumental cosmic event is rapidly approaching your reality. I need to pause right here and speak to you directly from my heart before I proceed with the remaining transmission from 𝐻𝐿, because this context is vital for what lies ahead. I have been facilitating this spiritual work and receiving telepathic transmissions for many years. I have sat with countless messages originating from higher dimensional realms, and over time I have developed a sharp discernment to distinguish between simple astral noise and genuine cosmic intelligence. I want to assure you with complete honesty that the sheer weight and energetic weight behind this specific transmission from Ashta Sharon was unlike anything I have felt in my entire life. There was an intense gravity to it, a serious, grounded frequency that was not delivered merely to offer emotional comfort or soft reassurance. It was transmitted to prepare us for what is immediately ahead. And there is a massive difference between being comforted and being prepared. Commander Ashta continued his direct transmission, stating that the subterranean and surface controllers have made catastrophic miscalculations. They were so utterly convinced of their absolute dominance over humanity that they became careless, arrogant, and complacent. A careless power structure inevitably begins to expose its own hidden mechanics. Unfiltered truth is now flowing through communication vectors that they can no longer fully monitor, censor, or shut down. Independent investigative journalists, courageously whistleblowing medical professionals, brave scientists, awakened spiritual facilitators, and even former insiders from within the highest corridors of institutional power are stepping forward to publicly proclaim truths that would have resulted in immediate career destruction or physical termination just a few short years ago. Everyday citizens who once swallowed the official narratives without question are now standing directly in front of glaring contradictions that cannot be rationalized away. The structural crack in their wall of absolute control is expanding exponentially. Every frantic attempt they make to seal one leak creates 3 new fractures in their narrative armor. The definitive momentum of this planetary shift now belongs entirely to the forces of light, and there is no entity or technology in this universe capable of reversing this trajectory. However, Ashta emphasized a vital point that many individuals within the modern spiritual community are simply not prepared to hear or accept. This planetary transition is not going to be a smooth, comfortable, or orderly process. The systematic dismantling of a global control apparatus that has thoroughly embedded itself within every structural layer of human civilization, including your central banking cartels, your medical-industrial complex, your global agricultural supply chains, your technological information networks, and the very language your culture uses to define daily reality, will inevitably generate real-world disruption on a scale modern society has never encountered. The obsolete framework must fully break apart before the divine blueprint of the new Earth can fully manifest. When this collapse reaches its critical threshold, it will directly impact every single aspect of your daily physical existence. This is precisely why I am conveying this message with every ounce of urgency I possess. You must actively prepare your physical lives right now, not out of panic or catastrophic fear, but out of grounded wisdom and practical love. The very same practical love that prompts a sensible person to carry proper shelter when they see a dark storm gathering on the horizon. Begin stocking tangible, long-term physical food supplies immediately. I am not suggesting you simply pick up a few extra canned items during your next routine grocery trip. I am urging you to build a genuine, well-thought-out, and deliberate reserve of baseline nutrition capable of sustaining your immediate family for a minimum of 90 days. Focus on high-density staples such as wholesome grains, nutritious legumes, shelf-stable canned goods, dehydrated foods, and non-GMO garden seeds if you have access to arable land or indoor growing equipment. The global supply chains that modern urban populations depend upon for their daily survival are infinitely more fragile and vulnerable than the general public assumes, and the systemic shocks scheduled to manifest within the next 90 days have the potential to expose this fragility in ways that will deeply traumatize those who chose to ignore the warning signs. Simultaneously, secure your long-term access to clean, drinkable water. Store vastly more pure water than you think your household could possibly consume, and acquire reliable, non-electric gravity water filtration systems if they are available to you. The municipal water treatment facilities and electrical grids that deliver clean water into your homes are directly linked to the exact same collapsing physical infrastructure that is about to experience severe instability. Furthermore, ensure you possess physical forms of tangible value or barterable currency that exist entirely outside of the digital banking system. I am not stating that the global electronic financial network will permanently disappear overnight, but history demonstrates that during periods of rapid structural realignment, the very digital systems people rely upon most are always the first to experience prolonged outages and unreliability. Holding physical assets, real resources, and tangible goods that maintain intrinsic value independent of an electronic screen or a central server is fundamental common sense. Gather your essential medicines, first aid supplies, natural herbal remedies, and personal hygiene products. Ensure your household is equipped to operate with total independence for an extended window of time. You do not need to prepare for decades of off-grid survival, but you must prepare for a temporary period of profound disruption, because the next 90 days will demand a level of physical resilience and mental clarity that most living humans have never been tested on. Commander 𝐻𝐷 then shifted the transmission into an even more serious register, addressing a widespread issue that is currently causing immense operational damage within the awakened community itself. He revealed that numerous deceptive transmissions are currently circulating across media platforms, falsely claiming to be channeled in his name, in the name of the Galactic Federation of Light, or from Pleiadian councils, which did not originate from higher light sources whatsoever. These fraudulent messages are highly sophisticated. They perfectly mimic spiritual language, incorporate just enough esoteric truth to appear highly credible, and are purposefully engineered with one singular psychological objective: to induce absolute passivity in you. They are designed to convince you that massive silver ET ships are about to land on the White House lawn to rescue humanity, that divine forces have every detail under control, and that your only duty is to sit back, hold a vague feeling of love in your heart, and allow external beings to handle the hard work of planetary liberation. 𝐻𝐷 explicitly declared that these passive messages are sophisticated psychological traps. They are engineered by counter-evolutionary forces that understand the emotional mechanisms and wishful thinking of the spiritual community far better than you realize. Their goal is to keep the most powerful, high-vibrational soul groups on Earth in a state of beautiful, peaceful, yet completely ineffective paralysis. Any channeled message that instructs you to wait, to be passive, or to expect an external savior does not originate from the true light forces. The Galactic Federation operates in absolute compliance with cosmic law, most notably the inviolable law of free will. This is not a casual preference or an administrative guideline. It is the absolute foundation of this universe. We cannot step in and alter your physical reality without your explicit, conscious invitation and active physical participation. We cannot construct the new Earth on your behalf, nor can we remove dark physical structures from your surface world without the grounded, embodied, and active choices of humanity itself. You are not passive spectators watching a cosmic movie from the audience. You are the active ground crew and the spiritual army of light whose embodied presence makes this transition possible. Right now, that ground crew must be fully awake, thoroughly grounded, physically prepared, and mentally sharp. The ancient wisdom traditions of your world were fully aware that this exact window of cosmic realignment would arrive. The Q'ero elders of Peru, who are the direct descendants of the Inca lineage and who have carefully preserved the ancient prophecy of the Pachacuti High within the Andes Mountains for over 500 years, spoke specifically of this era. The term Pachacuti signifies the Great Overturning, a total structural reversal of the established world order that arrives not as a chaotic cosmic punishment, but as a necessary balance written into the multi-thousand-year cycles of planet Earth long before recorded history began. They foretold that the corrupt institutional paradigms of modern civilization would inevitably crumble, not because random destruction is the goal of the cosmos, but because any structure built upon false foundations, deceit, and exploitation cannot withstand the rising light frequencies of the new era. What is artificial and illusory must collapse so that what is authentic and immortal can finally be seen. Similarly, the Hopi elders of North America warned of the time of the Great Purification, which they described as a powerful shaking loose of everything that no longer serves the continuation of organic life on Earth. They detailed precise physical and celestial signs that would manifest immediately before this purification, and anyone who studies their ancient prophecies knows that those signs are no longer looming in the future. Every single one of them has already manifested in your current reality. Concurrently, the High Council of the Pleiadian Light Transmissions has confirmed through every clean telepathic vector that the incoming cosmic ray waves striking Earth are operating at a deep biological and cellular level never before seen in human history. These cosmic light codes are directly interacting with human DNA strands, systematically dissolving the ancient programs of physical limitation, fear-based conditioning, and spiritual smallness that were artificially inserted into the human genome thousands of years ago by non-empathic forces seeking control over this realm. Over the course of the next 90 days, you will physically feel this deep DNA restructuring taking place within your physical vessel. You may experience it as profound, unexplained physical exhaustion that normal sleep cannot fix, as sudden emotional waves that surge and dissolve with startling speed, as rapid intuitive realizations regarding relationships and beliefs that have confused you for years, or as a deep sense of mourning for the old world that is dissolving even as something infinitely more glorious attempts to be birthed through your field. Do not attempt to suppress these physical symptoms with artificial pharmaceuticals, and do not label yourself as sick. This is the real-time physical ascension process occurring within your physical cellular structure. The low vibrational programming is leaving your cells to clear space for the higher dimensional light currently flooding the planet. Commander Ashta also asked me to convey these exact words with absolute clarity. The physical and energetic events unfolding over the next 90 days will present every single human soul on Earth with an unavoidable choice that can no longer be delayed or ignored. There is no middle ground available anymore. There is no comfortable neutral zone where you can intellectualize that a global shift is happening while continuing to live your daily life as if nothing has changed. The incoming galactic light frequencies simply will not permit that level of cognitive dissonance any longer. They act as the great revealer, forcing everything hidden beneath the surface directly into the light, bringing all suppressed corruption into clear public view, and exposing every dark operation to the full glare of collective awareness. This exposure will happen on the global macro scale around you, and it will happen within the personal micro scale of your own internal psyche. The fundamental question every soul must answer is the exact same question that has echoed through cosmic history. Who are you at the core of your eternal being, and what did you incarnate onto this planet to accomplish? For those of you who know the answer to that question within your bones, this present moment is your official call to action. Not next year, not when external circumstances feel safe, but right now. Daily express a clear, deliberate verbal intention to align with and receive the high-frequency transmissions being broadcast by the Pleiadian Councils and the Galactic Federation of Light toward Earth. Consciously ask us to channel high-vibrational healing frequencies directly through your physical body to clean, restore, and uplift the collective human consciousness grid. Perform this energetic alignment the moment you open your eyes in the morning. Repeat it before you go to sleep at night, and practice it in every quiet moment when you feel the external world attempting to pull you into fear or media distraction. Choose in those precise moments to act as an unshakable conduit of divine light. Because when you offer your physical body as a willing, conscious vessel, our higher dimensional energies can ground directly into the physical surface of Earth in a manner that no external technology, no starship, and no high-plane intervention can replicate. You are the sacred bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. You have always been the bridge, and your grounded presence is required now more than at any other period in planetary history. The Galactic Federation has fully assembled its forces. Commander Ashta's fleet is stationed closer to Earth's orbital field than at any other point in your recorded history. The Pleiadian light councils are working without interruption across the subtle energetic planes. The complete united alliance of light forces has converged upon this solar system specifically for this monumental transition. We are pouring every available resource into this exact timeline. However, we desperately need you to remain grounded in your physical bodies. We need you practical, prepared, emotionally stable, focused, and utterly fearless. A human being trapped in survival panic cannot access or project their divine inner power, and your conscious divine power is the one thing the ancient controllers have always feared most. Commander Ashta closed his transmission with these deeply comforting words, and I want you to feel them vibrating inside your heart, not just in your logical mind. Tell them that we are with them always, not occasionally, not merely when they achieve a certain level of spiritual perfection, say the right esoteric words, or adhere to a specific set of spiritual beliefs, but always. In every single second, whether you can consciously sense our presence or not, we have not abandoned you to face this transition alone. We have never left your side. What is approaching, as intense as it may appear to the physical senses, is the glorious rebirth of a golden era that this planet has not witnessed for thousands of years. Hold your inner light, prepare your physical homes, trust your intuitive inner knowing, and remember who you truly are. I sat in deep, quiet meditation with those profound words for a very long time after the telepathic contact ended. The message I want to leave you with today is simple. Please take the practical physical preparation seriously. Do not execute them from a place of fear or panic, but out of immense love for yourself, your family, and your immediate community. Stock clean water, store wholesome food, and ensure your home has everything required to remain independent and stable through a turbulent season. The grounded, well-prepared, and emotionally stable souls are the exact beacons who will be capable of holding space, offering comfort, and providing leadership for others when the global shaking reaches its peak. You cannot serve as a steady light for your community if you are paralyzed by basic survival stress. Prepare your physical life today so that your multidimensional soul can carry out the sacred mission it incarnated here to fulfill.